things to comment on. One is that I thought the meeting we had last night with Frank Cowell, and those who weren't there live hopefully have now managed to see it on YouTube, was absolutely smashing. It really was good. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a great evening. Frank was giving some very excellent practical advice, which was really good, and I think everyone who was there thoroughly enjoyed it. Practical construction advice, some real ideas that I know people will take away and want to put into practice. So, Lou, G8KJJ, if you've not seen it yet, really strongly recommend you to go and have a look at the YouTube channel and watch Frank's contribution. And I've posted both on the website and on the WhatsApp group the slide deck that was accompanied the talk given by Frank. The other thing is, just to mention briefly really, the Blackpool Rally was extremely good, I think. Our club stand was visited by a lot of people, along with the GQRP club stand. We looked after both, and that was very good and very enjoyable. We had some great friendships made there. A couple of people who were present at the rally joined the club the following day, which was superb, and hopefully we'll see them at club meetings soon and enjoy what we have to offer. I posted up onto YouTube a video of the Blackpool Rally before it started, so after we'd set the stands up, I took the opportunity of walking around the stands with the microphone and the camera, talking to one or two people, making comments about the stands to people, and we've already had some 522 views of that video. So there's obviously an audience there, lots of positive comments, lots of likes to the video, so I'm glad people have enjoyed that, whoever they are that have been watching that. So more on the next over, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO, the group M0 AUG. Yes, fine on that, Nick, and I wasn't able to join the meeting last night, but I've already started to work my way through the slide deck, and we'll then go on to view the presentation again. Yes, it was a good day on Sunday, and it was good to meet up with Russell, who had travelled up from Richmond and Surrey, I think, to help us out on the sun. So that was good to be able to meet Russell. We've seen him lots of times on the WhatsApp videos on the groups and things, and it was good to meet up with him, certainly. So thanks for that, Nick, and I'll leave it for you to continue next time around. Over to you now, Lou. G8KJJ in the group, M0AUG.
M0 AUG in the group G8KJJ. Yes, thanks, Jeff, and a very good evening to you and a good evening to everyone else on the net. It's a pleasure to be back again. The WX in Nottingham, very pleasant today. We had plenty of sun, very little wind, and a peak temperature of about 17 Celsius. So I think the east of the country's done reasonably well. I have seen not all of the presentation from last night, Nick, but I have seen about half of it, and I'm going to watch the rest of it later. I found it very interesting. It was very detailed, and there was some very interesting ideas. I'm particularly interested in the Delta, of course, but the slides, they're excellent, aren't they? Very detailed and good. So thanks to you for organising the presentation and also for distributing the slides. And I will see the rest of it either tomorrow or in the weekend. It's been a very interesting week for me. The HF bands have supplied some good DX. Tuesday and Wednesday provided openings to the Far East and the Caribbean. My best DX being Samoa, Japan and Venezuela, but there was a lot of other stations mixed in there as well. So the HF band, although the sunspot number was fairly modest, it was still it's very usable and very interesting. On antennas, Jeff has posted a video of DL5 NAH's incredible antenna array for VHF contesting. I don't know whether people have seen that, but I don't know where they get the money from. It must be a very expensive piece of kit, but very, very, very impressive. The satellite project on my side is progressing, but I'll give more on that on the next over. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ.
GAKJJ in the group, M0AUG telling. Yes, final rendezvous, and the slides are very, very detailed. All of the seen so far. I've been out today, so I didn't get much chance to get them and have a look at them until early evening, but I shall enjoy looking at those and then the presentation as well. It's been a pretty full week with the rally as well on Sunday for us. Over to you there, Bob. M4 X-Ray for Tango in the group. M0AUG. Good afternoon, Bob, and good evening. M0AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. Good evening to all. Hello to everyone that's on YouTube watching us. You wouldn't believe the weather here. All of us hands we give out the weather usually during our transmissions. Well, right now it is 33 degrees Celsius here. Mostly cloudy. Thank goodness the sun isn't out. I don't know what I would do. Hi. However, on Sunday, we expect a severe drop in temperature. We could see freezing. So, quite a difference from today until Monday night, apparently. We'll see what happens. It's been an up and down week for me on the radio, but Sunday was fantastic. 40 meters, I don't know what happened on 40, but 40 was open all day and half the afternoon, and I made many contacts on 40 on Sunday. Today the band's back to normal where I have a little QSB, etc. But still, I can just observe good to where I'm making contacts, and that's what's important, I guess. I really enjoyed the talk last evening, and I also enjoyed the video that Nick made on Sunday of the Blackpool rally. I found that very interesting, especially being I can't do any of that anymore. At least I can see there. One of the things that I do, I try to keep up with the latest technology by looking at the ads to see what's out there. But a lot of times the ads, they sort of stretch things a bit, where when I get it from fellow AMs, I know that I'm getting the accurate picture, and I like that. Not much else to report on this go around. Like I had a fan on in the shack today to try to keep it cool. Hi. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. Before X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG returning. Good talking with us again this evening with Bob. I hope you enjoyed the videos and things. The rally was interesting. I'll say it's interesting. And it's one thing to many times over the last, 30 years probably. But it's been a long and selfish rally. Right, over to Frankie Keel now. TG60AY in the group. M0AG. Good evening, Frank.
Hello from TG60AY. Good evening or good afternoon, depending on the time zone. And what can I report here? The weather has been fine. Today it was a really warm spring day. Sometimes in the mornings I have observed a thin layer of ice on the neighbor's roof and on the car windows. But there was not much rain, and the green stuff is exploding and coming out everywhere. So it's finally there are spring temperatures. Because of that, I've also been distracted from the radio hobby and have been hanging up some more bed boxes. But radio-wise, I saw that I think the upcoming weekend is the third full week of April, and that means that there is some more polar activity because you can get a reward or something for activating a park or hunting a park during the weekend. So there's probably some more polar activity. And the next week will also not be on it because the next week from Tuesday to, I think, Saturday or Sunday, we will be on an island in the Northern Sea, which is, surprise, a polar island. And so I will be trying to activate the park a few times. I hope for good weather and good propagation. Some more stuff on the next over. But first, back to Jeff from DG605.
DG605, Group M080 telling. Okay there, Frank, and we'll look forward to the continuation of the next over. And no sign of Mike and Andrea there so far this evening, so I wonder what they're up to. Right, over to the borders now on to Keith. GM4JK in the group, M0AUG. I bet you've had your hands on the new toy, Keith. Over to you.
M0AUG in the group, GM4JKZS. Good evening, Jeff, and afternoon to our friends over there in the States. No toroids today, unfortunately. Long dog walking this morning and gardening this afternoon, making the best of the sunshine we have up here. Bit of a breeze, but no real problems. We got 2 huge bags of bark to spread around before the weeds start coming up. So the other half was planting up the 4 vegetable boxes that we've got, and I was sorting the rest of the flower beds out. And after that, my strength in my hands disappeared, so I thought, I'm not going to wind any toroids today. I'll leave that for tomorrow. Anyway, 10 degrees up here at the moment. It was quite nice. We had some minor rain, very fine rain, just for about 10 minutes this morning while we were out with the dogs. But otherwise, very pleasant. Meeting last night I thought was excellent. And I was quiet at the end because I was a bit dumbfounded. All the projects that are going through my mind that are now going to be put down on paper after viewing those 5 antennas. I thought it was amazing and superb source of information, without a doubt. I've already looked up some of the parts on the Chinese website. Dare I say, but enough of that. And Nick, Jeff, the Blackpool Rally video. I did look at it today, and brilliant. It's just a shame it's just so far away from me that I can't get down there. So there are 2 options. I may have to move further south, or catch a train down or something like that. But there we go. Did work the Rizzy contest at the weekend, but I'll give you an update on the next round. M0AUG with the group, GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG returning. It's fine, like you. Sounds like you've had a lot to do without bully rope, playing with the radio kits at the moment, and fine. Yeah, the rally was good. We enjoyed it. It's like a lot of rallies, they said. It's busy in the morning, and the city started into early afternoon, and it started to just fade away. But nobody fade away, and the traders start backing up, and that's the end of it. Not like some of the rallies used to be, particularly the Blackpool one. Sometimes we were there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the traders are still doing business, and the place is full of So, changing times, but it's nice to see one of the roles now representing Harvey and other various facets of it as well. And it was good to see Icon UK there with their display as well. Obviously they came up from the south of England, not just to put that on. I did last year for the first time, so very welcome indeed. Right, the batting order shades slightly on the Reflector dashboard, and I'm going to stick to what I've got there on the pad. So excuse that, Martin. I'm going to go to Jeff first. Also remembering number 10 with the group. M0AUG. Good evening, Jeff.
M0AUG, the group. ON8 November Tango, very good evening to everyone, very good afternoon to you, Bob, there in the States, and to other people who are maybe watching us on YouTube. 16 degrees sunshine, we had a couple of beautiful days. I'm on the dashboard, okay. Some beautiful days we had, around 16, 17 degrees, and expecting some more good weather for the next coming days, so that's good news. Yeah, the Zoom session was excellent, really excellent. I've read the articles in Practical Wireless. I view the Zoom sessions, and this morning I looked into the PowerPoint, into the slides, the desk slides, or how do you call that? And I must say the three complement each other in such a way that I do understand better what it is all about. So they're really, really very helpful to distribute the slide desk. Yeah, for the desk slides or the PowerPoint slides, however you call that. Also enjoyed very much the Blackpool video, really brilliant. And I sent that to some of my friends in Australia. On the Tuesday morning, we had an ad on DStar with some Australian friends and with some people from the UK here, among others G4, Hotel Fox Golf, that you might know, or I'm sure you know him, Jeff. So, and they were very, very interested and very, yeah, they really liked the video. Okay, though, last weekend, looking to the conditions, I decided not to go for the RITI contest, but I went for the FT4 RSGB activity day, made 88 contacts, but only 2 in the States and 1 in Asia and Russia, and all the rest was Europe. I think maybe the Canary Islands. So conditions were not that brilliant, I think. Despite what Bob is telling, that he had good conditions there on 40 meters on Sunday, but the contest only took to midday on Sunday. So that's most for us. Some more in the next over. So I put it back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group, ON8 November Tango.
ON8 November Tango, group M0 AUG chatting. Yeah, thanks for that, Jeff, and everybody universally seems to have enjoyed the Zoom meeting last night. So I'm still working my way through the slides, and I haven't got to the presentation yet, but I will get around to that one. Just some other things going on, so I couldn't make the meeting itself. Over to you there, Martin, G4WJX in the group, M0AUG, good evening.
Yeah, good evening from G4WJX, and hello to everybody, and nice to catch up again. I missed the presentation last night. I had a prior engagement to a football match. For years I've been photographing ladies football, and the team that I photographed were in a cup final last night. So I was sitting at the side of the pitch taking photographs of the ladies, desperately trying to beat the other side, which sadly didn't happen in the end. It was 2-2 at the end of full time, and they lost on penalties, which was a bit of a shame, but a nice night. I missed Blackpool as well, and I was hoping to get out to Blackpool, but unfortunately the events meant that I couldn't get. Somebody I was hoping to get was we both forgot it was on, so
G4WJX and Group M0UG. We're suddenly lost you there, Martin. G4WJX and Group M0UG. It looks like you've dropped out there, Martin. Just one more go, please. Nothing else from Martin. We'll continue with you next time around, Martin. Whether you've run out of battery or not or whatever, but it just dropped out. So there's no other reason from that. So, Rolf is happy smallest this evening. Back over to you, Nick. G4IW in the Group M0AEG.
M0AEG in the group from G4IW. Oh, yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and welcome everyone to the net tonight. And thank you for the comments, both about the video of the Blackpool Rally. I'm getting better at these videos. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll produce even better ones. This year, I walked around with the camera, my phone, on top of a 1 meter stick, and that gave the advantage that I could hold it up and make sure that I got most of the time everyone in the shot I wanted to get in the shot and the stands as I walked round. And Bob, you'd have heard my reference to you at one stage on the stand next to us from Peter at GM0EUL. If you remember, he was the guy who gave the talk a few weeks ago about building a valve transmitter and also about his little Morse keys that he was selling on the stand at Blackpool on Sunday. And he had for sale a 1945 US Vibraplex. I mean, it looked in very, very good condition, I have to say. And I immediately thought of you, Bob, because I'm 100% certain that a key like that you would have used at one stage. Yeah, so apart from some new members to the club, we've also got a group of people who are joining the WhatsApp group following the meeting last night. So Mick at G5MIX has joined and he's already on the group this evening. So he's been given a thumbs up from a number of people. So it'd be good to engage with Mick. We've also issued invites because they've dropped me a note to say they would like to be part of the WhatsApp group. One is Terry, W3MPS in the US, and the other is Tim, G5TM. So really pleased when they come on board to the WhatsApp group to have some extra people interested, hopefully, in the kind of things that we chat about there on the WhatsApp group. Thoroughly enjoying sorting out upcoming speakers for the club events over the next few weeks. And as I get the actual dates organised, I will confirm those, of course. Next week, the week after next, we've got Jim N4KCT talking about his HF glove antenna. I'll say a bit more about that later on. The meeting after that, on May the 13th, we've got Jeff ON8NT and Ken, as in Ken EA5/G4VZV, giving us their contribution on using French and Spanish enough to have a QSO. So some words, some language, a bit similar, hopefully, to the magnificent contribution that Mike and Adriana gave us a few weeks prior from Germany, and on the German language. And on Wednesday the 20th of May, David, Scottish radio amateur, is up in the Highlands, is going to give us a talk on the controversy over FT8, whether this is real radio, and just explaining what it is, and also talking about his entry into the hobby from first of all listening and then getting into wanting to become a radio ham, going on to Essex Ham and doing the foundation license course, then teaching himself enough to get through the intermediate course, and then joining the fantastic Bath Advanced Learning course with Steve, G0 FUW and others to enable him to get his full license. So we've got him on May the 20th, and then we've also got another speaker coming up on May the 27th. So we've got a busy round of meeting coming up at the club, and we've got some more in the pipeline as well, which will be really good. So back to you, Jeff. M0AG in the group, G4IWO.
Alright, I'm going to group M0AG today. Yeah, fine, I'm having fun for the updates also on the future events. Like, yeah, hot off the press. I've not even reached the Google Calendar yet, so those of you in the group tonight, you're in a position of hearing about these new events before they've actually been publicised. So thanks very much for that, Mick, and also the work we do in getting all these good events to us. So it doesn't look as if Mike and Andrew are going to join us this evening. So we'll look forward to hearing our adventures next week. Okay, back over to you now, Lewis. You ain't in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ. Yes, thanks, Jeff. And yeah, last week I mentioned a quarter wave homebrew 70 centimeter ground plane, which I'd installed in the loft. Well, on the 10th of April, using that quarter wave antenna for receive, I worked OE3KEU through the ISS. So a quarter wave is not a bad antenna, despite it being so simple and not sophisticated. On transmit, I used an HB9CV on the mast outside on the house, and that's on a rotator. So I was transmitting on that and receiving on the little quarter wave. It didn't work so well on the SO50, which I did try as well. The signal was very, very weak, but I didn't have a preamp at the on at that time, so maybe with a preamp it might work okay. During the past week, I've also got SAT PC32 working with 2 instances of WSJTX, which will enable me to monitor my own signal coming back from the satellite. Jeff ON8NT was instrumental in helping me set that up, so thanks very much, Jeff, for your help there. Today I tried FD4 on RS44. I could see my signal on WSJTX on the waterfall, but the software didn't decode the transmission. So that's something I'm thinking about. The antennas I used for this attempt were a 5-element Yagi on the tripod rotated by the homebrew rotator. I think you've all seen that one. And an HB9CV on the outside of the house. I use the HB9CV rather than the Moxon, which I've also got for the little rotator, because the Moxon, when it's very close to the 70 centimeter Yagi, it tends to desensitize the receiver. So by using the HB9CV, which is quite a long way away from the 70 SEMS antenna, it works better. As a first attempt, I was pleased with the outcome, but realized I must develop a way of coping with Doppler drift, as I believe this was the reason for WSJTX not decoding my signal. I'll be very interested in the FT8 presentation, Nick. Is it real radio? Well, having spent something like 50 years, or no, a little bit less than 50 years on SSB, I must admit, in the last 2 to 3 years, working on FT8 with SSB, of course, has been very enjoyable. So in my mind, FT8 is real radio. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG and the group GAKJJ.
G8 Character in the group, M0 AUG telling. It's fine, I'm not Lou. I'm finally, it's been nice to see me with Ariel there. And I used to use one of those many years ago, I think, when I was working 6 meters from the previous location. I'm sure that's what I was using for that. But interesting about the desensitizing. I've heard that one before. Personally, I've never done anything on the FT8, FT4 at all. So I know lots of people are using it and get some good results with it. So that should be an interesting talk I make. And I noticed down the bottom of the tree that it looks like Mike is just logging on. Let's let me add into the list. And I'm seeing my DL8 BDT as well. And then we'll pick them up as we head down the list there. So thanks for your comments on that there, Lou. Just acknowledging Mike, DL1 BJW and DL8 BDT joining the net, and we'll be with you lower down the list. Currently we're just about to go over to Bob. The number 4 XL for Tango in the group, M0 AUG.
M0 AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. First of all, Nick, I probably did use that key. Years ago, we had to use the J38 key, and in order to use a speed key, we had to qualify and have that in our service record. And many of us did get it in our service record so that we could use a bug. So that brings back memories. And I probably did use the key that you saw. Lou, it's surprising, Lou, the number of CW operators that I know or knew that have shifted to FT8, and I hardly ever see them on CW anymore because they got involved with FT8 and they like it so much. So there you go with that. Usually on this go around, I do give my updates, so I'll give them. First of all, as of this morning, I was 669 hunter worldwide, so I can't complain about that. I had 3,493 different parks. Now, on Sunday, I got several parks. I don't know exactly how many, but I got several on a Sunday. On Monday, I got one. Tuesday and Wednesday, I got none. Today, I know I have one, and I think I have 2 more. And the reason for that is I've done a little bit of FT8 and also did FT4. And on FT4, I believe that I have 2 contacts. Of course, they haven't reported to POTA yet, but I think I picked up 2 new parts on FT4 for POTA. So I'm hoping. And I'm looking forward probably to this weekend, because on the weekend there are many more parks active and a lot of operators that I haven't seen before. So there's a possibility. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. If I don't get it, like I said to Mike and Adriana last night, if I don't get it, I don't get it. But I'm going to try to maybe tie it up this weekend. And if I don't, well, I'll just keep working on it until I do tie it up. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. And that was the first time that I've used FT4. So if that comes true, that's nice. What I don't understand about FT4, one of my programs shows the frequency as 7045. These fellows, I worked on 7480, I believe it was, in FT4. So I'm not quite sure about that. I have to read up on that to see exactly what's going on. But that's it from here, and good night again tonight. So back to you, Jeff, M0 AUG with the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
Number 4 XL for Tango group, M0 AUG telling. Yeah, fine on your position on the league, on the pulses and things. Incredible now, Bob. And even if you don't get the result you want this next week, I'm sure you'll probably get it the week afterwards. Thanks for your contribution so far. Over to you, Frankie Keel, DG601 in the group, M0 AUG.
And DG6OY back. Yeah, that must have been a very interesting talk. I just did a quick overview of the deck of slides, and I immediately got many impressions, and we'll dig into that later. And I can build another antenna for the upcoming activation next week. I have my setup more or less planned, and it will be a QRP setup with the QMX, because we will leave the car at the ferry port, set over to the island, and there from that small port there we have to walk to the apartment. So we have to carry everything with us in backpacks. We'll be 4 persons, and then I will try to get online and do some photo activity with the current setup. Recently I've been reading all the QMX QP Lab digest from the news group or email group on Groups.io, and it's hard to follow. There's I think there are sometimes 2 or 3 daily digests coming per day. But I saw some interesting developments. Someone programmed software for a driver for a pen adapter, so that you can use your cell phone as a frequency display, or a spectrum display. You just have to connect the QMX via USB to your cell phone and have the driver and front end installed. Maybe I don't understand everything. I just try to read it. It's also under development. But at least it's an interesting idea and shows the potential of that small radio. But when I will be doing, for example, QFT8 or the app QFT8, then the USB port is already in use, and I know where the FT8 signals are, so I don't need such a spectrum display. But at least it shows that such things are possible even for such a small radio. And there's another development I read about today or yesterday, but I think I will tell you more about that on the next over. So back to M0IUG from DG6OY.
DG6OY in group M0AG. Yeah, fine enough, Frank, and I hope that your the expedition with your colleagues gives you some reasonable results there. I obviously look forward to hearing the outcome of that in a future meeting. Back up to the waters now, GM4 Jackers in the group M0AG.
M0AG in the group GM4 Jackers, thanks for this. And Bob, the FT8, FT4 frequencies are in WSJTX settings. If you have a look across the top under frequencies, they're all listed in there for each of the bands. I've been playing with FT2, and the Decodium Shannon software is pretty good now. I've got to grips with the colours, a little confusing, but I've got those all sorted out now, so that's quite a nice little program. It runs FT2, FT4 and FT8 and WS, Whisper rather. And Japan's been the best contact on FT2 so far, which is very interesting. It's a 3.5 second transmission, and that's it. Whether we say that's real radio or not, I don't know, but it's interesting just to see distances and how one can get out. These were the RISI contests at the weekend rather than the other, which is quite interesting. The signal that you had to give over was obviously RST and the date you were first licensed. And just looking through my log here, I worked 86 stations and accrued 5,590 points, I think it was. The oldest dates were 1959, one from Finland and one from Canada. and the youngest was 2017, which was a French cadet ham radio station, F4HRA, QRP as well, so that was interesting to work. That was the IG Worldwide British contest, by the way, for those listening. So, and on the HB9 TV, Lou, yes, I remember those a long time ago when we were playing Fox and Hounds when I was first licensed back in the 70s. And it's a grand little antenna, I must admit. I think if I remember rightly, I had a beehive trimmer on the top of it, which was a bit tricky when you're out in wet weather, but not to worry there. And congrats, Bob, on your figures there. Very impressive. So you're going to make the 3,500, I suggest, this week, no doubt. Okay, back to you there, Jeff, and I do have a picture to follow later on. M0 AUG with the group, GM4JKZ. M0 AUG, GM4JKZ, back to you.
GM4JKZ in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yes, fine and that, Keith. I think we actually doubled because you didn't come back straight away to me, and I chanced it again when you came back in. So, personally, I didn't get any of your last over, but maybe some of the others did. I'm so sorry about that. Jeff will soon tell us in a minute whether he got your transmission or not. So thanks for that. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group. M0AUG. Did you receive Keith's transmission?
No problem, Jeff. I received him 100%.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jeff. I think you probably just locked me out because I did call Keith in and he didn't come back, and I went to call him in a second time, and that's when we doubled, and obviously that's when it locked me out as well. So, over to you, Jeff. Not everybody else heard Keith's comments anyway. Sorry, Keith. Over to you, Jeff. You're over. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group. M0AUG.
Okay, Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango, all copied well. Some things that I have done over the last few weeks, you know, the 3DV Radio, the digital voice application for HF, has now an app for your cell phone, for Android and India Oscar Sierra, the Apple system there. I've been playing with that for a couple of days now. Today I got it working and receive. So there is still some work to do. These are beta versions, but anyway, I got the reception and transmit. The transceiver is recognized, but he is hanging in transceive mode, so that's not good. But anyway, I'm in contact with the guy in Taiwan and reported that, so probably he will have a new edition in the coming days, so to say. So that's, I think, a very interesting development. Thinking of Adriana and Mike with their QMX transceiver, they could couple that, and that would be a very handy tool for the field. That would be a very handy tool for the field. The second thing about 3DV Radio is that in the Open Web RX Plus SDRs that you can listen on the internet to radio, they integrated the radio mode, so you can now listen to radio and most of the Open Web RX Plus websites, at least if the SysOp has made the update, which is not always sure. The other thing I have done was the slow scan TV ESS. I had really good results with that portable transceiver from Vero, which is doing the doubler shift and decoding the SSTV. So that was really, really very interesting. I worked also for the first time, I think, for all-time U1 Cambodia X-ray Uniform 7 Oscar this week. and Bravo Uniform 2 Fox Whiskey, which was not a new one, but anyway quite rare, and a whole lot of Japanese. So your observations about the Far East were absolutely true. Okay, yeah, on congratulations on your contact with the Oscar Echo station, and having no decode has to do with the timing, I think. So I'm looking at my documentation. I know in my sat track it's very easy to arrange that, but in sat PC32 I'm not sure how to do that. But I have somewhere seen a document explaining that, so I'm looking for that document. And if I found that, Lou, I will send that to you. So back to you, Jeff. Oh, and I have a picture, yeah. I have a picture of Brussels. Mike 0, AUG the group, 08 November Tango.
All right, November Tango in the group M0AU said, yes, fine with that, Jeff. And for the stands there 2 hours in Blackpool, was doing a demonstration on Raleigh, and that was from the Warrington Club, I think. And yeah. I didn't actually get a chance to see that, but maybe Nick did, I don't know. Over to you there, Martin, G4WJX in the group M0AG.
Yeah, M0AUG, G4WJX. Let me just check that you get any. Did you get any of me last over at all, Jeff?
Okay then, I'm receiving you, no problem at all there. Back to you.
From G4WJX, I really don't know what happened to the last over. I did drop out a while ago, and then since the last few times I've been on, I haven't dropped out. I don't know what it is, whether it's my internet connection being silly, but anyway, yeah, I've missed last night's thing because of I was at a football match photographing the local ladies. But been operating a little bit on sat, so I've got the transmit side on 2 meters with the egg beater. That seems to be running okay, but UHF, I haven't got a proper satellite antenna yet. There is an egg beater on the way being made for me by a local ham. I've seen a knock-up of it a few days ago, and it's hopefully going to be ready by next week. But I've got a fixed antenna, a 5-element aiming southeast. I've still managed to get 5 contacts over 3 satellites, RS-44, FO-29 and SO-50. I struggled getting into the ISS. It just seems to be chaotic. Although I did manage to download some of the SS TV from the ISS last week, and also from a couple of CubeSats. But I do have a picture. I was going to send one of the pictures that I've got from the ISS download, but I've been out today at the local wildlife park feeding the red panda, so I thought I'm going to send that picture instead of the ISS ones that you've probably all seen anyway. But I do think I've got to look at the last night's videos, because I'm particularly interested in antenna experimentation, but I just couldn't get there because I was already pre-booked. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG G4WJX.
G4WJX in the group M0AG doing. Yes, fine enough, and I don't know what happened to the transmission there. I know I was locked out when Keith and I doubled, so I didn't get any of Keith's over. But as soon as Keith passed it back to me, it came back to life, so there we go. Numbers and one science. Thanks for the picture. I've made a note of that when we come to sending the pictures through. So, nothing from Ralph now, so back over to you there, Nick. G4IWO in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you everybody, and we've got various people who have been joining the WhatsApp group tonight, so really nice to see the activity in the club, really, of new members coming to us. On the WhatsApp group, we've been joined by Merv, M0WVE, who's also a member of the Mid-Sussex Amateur Radio Society. We've been joined by Mick, G5MIX, who is a newly licensed amateur, keen to get working on radio, but has a problem because he doesn't think he's able to put up any wires en masse at his home location. So Ken, I know, is busily having a direct chat with him about some ideas. Terry, W3MPS, who's been with us for a long time, one of the founder members of Pennine Ham, has now also joined the WhatsApp group, as has, as I said last time, Tim, G5TM. And yes, Jeff, there was a demonstration of Rade operating on the QMX at the Warrington Radio Club, and it was very interesting. I put the headphones to my head, and as you know, Jeff, I have listened to some Rade on HF, and it's incredible quality, amazing quality, and that was the point I was putting to one of our new members, Malcolm G8IBK, who joined us, having chatted to us at the rally. By Monday night, he was a member of the club, alongside Jeremy M0RVB and Richard GW0HDY, are all very recent new members to Pennine Ham. So it's great to see us finding some new people, and that they seem to be enjoying what we're doing, and hopefully will stay with us on the journey that we're on. And yes, in terms of the talks, there to G4WJX, on your comment just now about interest in antennas, you'll find so much in that talk from Frank last night, and it was quite a lengthy talk, which is completely my fault, because when I had a personal chat with Frank K4FMH several weeks ago now, he said to me, Nick, do you just want to talk on one antenna, or do you want me to cover the range of antennas that I've been playing with? And I said, I'll tell you what, Frank, let's have you covering all of them. And as everyone knows, you know, the talk was probably exceeding the normal talk of club talks, but I thought it was engaging enough and extremely interesting, and so jam-packed full of different ideas, particularly, and I know, Lou, you know, you've already had a look at the slide deck, particularly the construction ideas. You know, just getting some ideas about things that you hadn't thought of that might work is something to really appreciate. And I'll tell you one thing I did learn from last night's talk by Frank was that Larry Seebeck, who is a very, very impressive writer. I've got his book on balance, which is very theoretical. There's a lot of quite difficult mathematics in it, but it's a fabulous book. And Frank was saying that he wasn't from any kind of engineering or electrical background. In fact, he was a philosopher, and taught philosophy at university. And I didn't know that. I probably could have found that myself if I'd looked him up on Wikipedia at some time, which I've never done. But that was interesting. And the same is true with Frank. I mean, Frank taught statistics at the university there in Mississippi, where he lives, for many, many years. And, you know, as he proved last night, he's also a very capable builder and, you know, deeply involved in amateur radio there in the US. And, of course, he's also part of the ICQ podcast. So, you know, it's been a very enjoyable few weeks, including the visit to Blackpool. And I'm glad people have appreciated what we've done there. So back to you there, Jeff. M0AUG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AUG returning. I'm assuming that you got photograph at the end as well. Now then, apologies to Mike and Adriana. You were down the bottom of the list, and after Martin, I completely jumped over you before I went back to Nick. So DL1 BJW with DL8 BDT in the group M0AUG. Apologies to both of you. Over to you, Mike. Good evening.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. No apologies needed, Jeff, but we have to apologize because we are
made such a late entry into the meeting here. The reason being that we got a very urgent but also very lengthy telephone call, which took us quite a long time, so that we missed the beginning of the meeting. Sorry about that. Yeah, first of all, yesterday's Zoom meeting was excellent. It was really very inspiring and very informative. And the talk after the meeting was also very, very nice. We enjoyed that very much. Then I wanted not to omit that we have been very impressed by Bob's N4X80's position in the ranking, in the worldwide ranking. Excellent, Bob. Fabulous, really. That's quite something to achieve. And sorry, so frog in my throat. Yeah, I've been the last week. I've been very active on FT8 and FT4, and on the day before yesterday, yeah. I was very lucky to be on 17 meters with FT8 and FT4 between 9 and 10 o'clock UTC. So still in the morning time. I could work some stations which I was trying to reach for quite a long time. And I could work them all in this 1 hour. That was excellent, really. I was very astonished because the conditions were obviously very favorable. So I worked 5W1SA in Samoa, Tango 3-1 Tango 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 in Canton Island, Kiribati, and 3 Delta 2 Alpha Golf in Fiji. And it was very rewarding. I had tried to reach them a very long time, many days, and with no success. But this once I succeeded, so that was something very good. The propagation seems to be a little bit better in the last 3 days, I think, but nevertheless, it's still there's still some very strange appearances in between. I was working ZL station in CW some days ago in the morning, in our morning here, local time, and I was using the equipment I'm always using for that, that's to say approximately 100 watts and an NFAT half wave. And I had worked this particular station before with 559, and I could hear him with 559 also. But this time he could read me with 559. And I could only give him 419. So I barely heard him. It was very, very low signal, and it was very curious. We had this situation once before, a few weeks back, when the situation was the other way around. So I could hear him with 55.9, and he could barely make out my signal in the noise. So that's interesting, but I can't explain that, yeah. So far from my side, I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. It's very good evening also from my side, and apologies for our late coming into the group. Yes, from my side, I can report some news about FT8 and FT4. trials on the QMX with 3 to 5 watts. This was quite interesting there because for the first time I have been heard in Japan and also at the Antarctic station, the Meyer station there. This was quite nice, and therefore I think it's a plan to be more often there on FT4 and FT8 with the QMX during the evenings. This might be quite interesting. So yesterday's talk was great. There was so much information, and it was very, very interesting which constructions he made from parts which are not usually used in ham radio, the stick, for example, and the tape around it. And yes, at the end, after the talk, I thought we had to ask him for how he uses the Faraday cloth. He explained it a little bit, but the dimension of the Faraday cloth might be interesting, because we thought for our trials outside there might be interesting to change the radials into a Faraday cloth when we are working at the beach, for example, because this is a little bit more handy with the people going around, and they can't, or dogs and so can tangle into the radials when you have a Faraday cloth. So perhaps this is a plan for the summer to try out. So, and not to forget, Bob, congratulations to your successes in POTA. It's always very, very interesting to see and to hear what you can achieve with your station. This is quite... Oh, I have the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
T8 PGT with the L1 BJW, and thanks both of you for joining the room. Obviously things come up a bit, you can't always make it on time, and no apologies necessary. I did wonder where you were, and I began to wonder, did you tell me last week you were doing something else? But no problem at all, and it's great to have you with us as usual, and thanks for your contribution. Now then, I screwed the list up a little bit by bringing Nick in a bit earlier last time, so what I'll do now, I'll go back to the top of the other bit of the list now, and over to you there, Lou. I think you said you got a photograph coming when we come to that one, but just let's go through this round for starters. GAKJJ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. And I do have a photo, but I'll just run through some of the comments. First of all, Bob, congratulations again. You POTA score worldwide rating is excellent, and I'm very interested in Frank's the expedition. I didn't catch the island. I was interrupted when he was talking, and I must have missed it. But I should be very interested in that. And Keith, Japan on FT2. Well, I've not done any FT2, but it sounds quite interesting. The HB9CV, I've used HB9CVs for years and years, and I've made several. And as you're right, they do have, or they can have, a beehive trimmer. The one I built for this satellite work has got a beehive trimmer in it, and they do work. But of course, you've got to be very careful. They can go out of tune very easily. You can replace them with a fixed capacitor. What else? I'm losing track of the... oh, Martin, yes, congratulations on the various contacts through various satellites with your egg beater and Yagi combination. Well done on that. FT4 not decoding. I'll be interested if you have got information on that, Jeff. That would be useful. And Mike, congratulations on your Pacific contacts. It does show that conditions, although the sunspot numbers not been particularly good, conditions have been really quite good. I've been working into the Pacific and into Asia, and I know a lot of other people have too. So yeah, that's good. And Adriana, I'm also interested in the Faraday cloth. That sounds like an interesting development. Anyway, I've got a photo, but I'll wait until you give me the word to send it, Jeff. So back to you. M0AUG in the group, GKJJ.
JKJJ in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, a lot going on in the group this evening, and thank you very much for the interchange, everybody, between yourselves on your various projects and things. And I'm going to go to Bob now. I think I don't know if you said before you got a photograph, Bob, but I'm sure you will have. November 4 X Alpha Tango. We're not doing the photos until we just finish this round, Bob. But have you got a photograph when we do? Over to you.
Yes, Jeff, I do have a photo. If you'd like me to send it now, or shall I stand by?
Please stand by for now, Bob, if that's okay. And everybody's congratulating you on your position on your poster, and that's absolutely superb. Over to you, Bob.
First of all, I had a different photo for this week, but after I saw Martin's last week of that bird that he sent, it reminded me of a photo that I had taken. I'm not a professional photographer, so it isn't anywhere near as nice as Martin's photos, but this is a photo of an eagle that we saw making in a nest on top of a light or electric a wire pole. So stand by and I'll send that picture.
Thanks, Bob. Just got 99% there. It's just one block, but it's in the middle of the straw, so my reception doesn't degrade from what I've got. So we'll go down the list for other comments there now. And over to you, Nick, G4IWO, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, I got it absolutely 100%. Lovely photograph. Thanks very much.
Thanks for that, Nick. And over to you, Lou, GKJJ.
Yeah, it's a smashing picture, Bob. Very, very good.
And over to you, Frank, T60AY. I don't know whether you're receiving pictures or whether you've got anything to send. Just come back to me, please.
Yeah, that's a good success, guys. Yankee still here. I just watched the picture being received by Nick over the YouTube channel. I got also set up here something for receive, but it takes some time. It has to be tested before, so really I don't do that, and just use YouTube, the retransmission on YouTube. Can see the pictures there, can follow the pictures there, and I also see my call center. I will probably, the next time I will not be there, but the week after that I can probably summarize my activity and tell you more about how it went. And I hope to see you in 2 weeks. And say 73. And this time I don't forget it. Thank you, Jeff, for managing the net. And until the next time, goodbye from Delta Golf 6 Oscar Yankee.
TG6 Holiday Wine Group M0AG turning. Okay, fine enough, Frank, and we look forward to hearing about your little expedition in 2 weeks' time. So, over to you there, first of all, for your comments, Keith, and I'm assuming you might have a photograph eventually. GM4JKZ Group M0AG.
Yeah, from the GM4JKZ, sunblock on the nest, but lovely picture there, Bob. And yes, got a picture for you coming up shortly. M0AG, GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ M0AG, yeah, thanks for that. And over to you for your comments on Bob's photograph there, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November 20 in the group, M0AG.
Brilliant, Bob. Perfect. The Eagle has landed.
Thank you for that, Jeff. And to you, Martin, for your comment, G4WGX.
Yeah, all good here, no problem at all. It's an interesting one. There's one or two birds of that type that nest like that, but always nice to see. I struggle with that type of bird. Oh, I think I've just disappeared. Oh no, I was just listening to myself on YouTube in case I disappeared again. I thought I had, but yeah.
G4WGX, you've disappeared now, but not for the time when you first mentioned that, so that's fine. Right, so we'll start to catch up with some of the other pictures, and I'll ask Nick, first of all, for his picture, and then you can spend the rest of the time putting it together for going up to the WhatsApp group there, if that's okay with you, Nick. G4IWO in the group, M0AG. I'm 100% through with me there, Rick, and I wonder where that was. Seems to be a couple of faces I can recognise on that. So, thank you for that, Nick, and just pass it around to make sure everybody else has got the picture there. Over to you there, GAKJJ.
Yeah, M0AUG and the group GAKJJ. Yeah, it's a perfect picture, and I really enjoyed your coverage of the rally, Nick, and very good.
Yes, at least we got him on the still shot there with obviously Rachel on the left and me on the right there. So well done for that one. Thank you, Nick. And over to you for your comment, Bob, and 4XAT.
this is M4X8T. It's surprising. The picture is great, and I don't need a resend. But about the first 5 blocks didn't take. It says 97% here, but the first 5 blocks probably really were just the beam across the top anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't need a resend. A nice photo and a great coverage of that rally. F4X8T in the group M0AUG here today. Yeah, on that picture on there, just near to where Rachel is, you can actually see the new display banner that was just, that Jim Nix just had done for the Pennine Ham Club there. And it's very, very, very visual and attracted lots of interest, and it was good quality as well. And then obviously we've got the GQRP banner on the other side there. So thanks for that there, Bob. And right, coming down the list, GM4JK is ready in the group.
M0AUG, yeah, 100% GM4JKZ.
M0AU.
Great picture. Yeah, thank you, 100%.
Thank you. One for the album, that is. Over to you there, Martin. G4WJX. Yeah, no problems here. I presume that's one of those pull-up stands with the Pennine Ham amateur radio club. They're very, very good. They always look very good at either side of a stand they do. That's correct there, Martin. That was a new one. It was his first outing on last Sunday as well. And really, it looks good on the picture. But let me tell you, it even looked better in the flesh, so to speak. Very, very good indeed. So thanks for the comments on that. Right. Oh, do you want to send your picture next then, please, Lou? GAKJJ in the group, M0AUG.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. My picture is some lakes by the National Water Sports Centre, just close to Nottingham. I hope this will come out. It was a very very early morning shot I took, and it's a bit dark. Anyway, here it comes.
Nice picture there. I'm blocking on the right hand side, but obviously it doesn't detract from the photograph as far as I'm concerned. Let's see what the others say. For your comments, please, G4IWO.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. I can see the picture, beautiful picture, but I've got about 7 blocks on it. And if I'm going to post it on the WhatsApp group for people just to have a look at the quality of the pictures we're sending between these radios, I think it'll be worth sending again. Back to you, Jeff at G4IWO. Bye.
No, I didn't. Sorry, Nick. I think we doubled again on that one. I didn't get your comments, but as soon as I saw you come up on the screen, I released the PTT there. And what was the picture okay for you, Nick?
G4IWO returning. Yeah, it's a lovely picture. I can see most of it, but there are about 7 blocks on the screen. It'd be quite nice if Lou could send that again, just so we can knock those blocks out when I post the quality of the pictures we're getting on the net between us. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Nick. Nick, would you like to? Sorry, Lou, would you like to send the picture again, please? Thanks, that's all. You can send with me now as well. Over to you, Nick.
Yeah, M0AUG G4IWO. I've got all but 1 block. It's absolutely fine. I've got 99% of it. It looks a lovely picture, and I'll use that to post on WhatsApp. Back to you.
G4IWO0AG, that's absolutely fine on that one. And over to you for your comment, Bob. N4XAT in the group, M0AEG.
I had quite a few missing blocks. Most of them were filled in. The top half of the picture still isn't real good. As Nick said, he's going to download it to WhatsApp, so I'll be able to get that copy, so no need to resend it for me. But from what I can see, it looks like it's mostly clouds and trees where the black spots are. So from that sunrise one down, or sunset, whatever it is, it's fine. Back to you, Jeff.
Okay, thank you there, Bob. And over to you for comments, Keith, GM4JKZ, M0AG.
Come on, GM4JKZ. Yeah, a few blocks missing, but it doesn't detract from the picture. And yeah, lovely colours in that as well. M0AUG, GM4JKZ.
Do you want to send me again, Keith, or are you okay with that? Please, back to you.
No, that's fine. The bulk of the picture is perfectly visible, Jeff.
Thanks, Keith. Over to you, Jeff. 08 November Tango, M0AG.
Okay, Jeff. Three blocks missing, but perfectly all right for me. Very nice picture. If you take up while it was a little bit dark, it's a good result, I think.
Thanks for the comments, Jeff. And to you, Martin, G4WJX.
Yep, all good here. I'm also looking at the flashes, and I'm also looking on YouTube, so I can see that single block missing on this.
Thanks for that, Martin. Right, where are we up to on the little list now? I think it's your turn to send your picture, Keith, please. GM4JKZ, M0AG.
Come on, Jeff. The original of this was back in 1969, so hopefully this will come up. This is the more recent one.
Just a couple of blocks towards the bottom there, Keith, man. Four lines up. Can you just do it again, please? All clear now, 100% with me, so back to the top of the list of confirmation, the G4IWO.
Yeah, G4IWO returning. If there's a missing block on there, it's not really visible on the screen. I think it's just in the top. It's 99%, but the actual photograph itself is superb. So the one missing block doesn't detract at all. Over.
Thanks for that, Nick. You are calling, please, Lou, GAKJJ.
I've got a lot of blocks missing, Keith. Across the centre, it's a very famous shot. I do remember that one.
Thanks, Lou. Would you try and send this again, please? See if we can clear it to give Lou a decent picture, please, Keith. Over to you. We'll see you, Lou, GAKJJ.
M.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a great picture. It's iconic, isn't it?
Very much so. It's a nice picture, and that's why I wanted you to have a complete picture there, so thanks for that. And your comments, please, well then, 4X30M, 0AG.
In 4X30, 100% on the second transmission. No problem at all. Beautiful shot.
Thanks for that, Bob. And over to you, Jeff, 1810TM, 0AG.
Yeah, I was missing 3 blocks on the dark side of the Earth, not the dark side of the Moon, but now it's 100% perfect.
Good, thanks for that, Jeff, and over to you, Martin.
Yep, all good here, many thanks.
Okay, thanks for that. Looking on the list now, it's your turn, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG.
Okay, first of all, some final comments. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing the net. Next week, I will not be around. There is the HamCon conference in Leuven again, where radio amateurs and science people, academic people involved in telecommunication will meet each other again to exchange information and learn from each other. Last year, that was a very interesting experience. So this year we are going back to Leuven to experience that. So we take a long weekend of that. So I will be on Thursday. I will be already in Leuven. Okay, no, so that's a practical communication. Mike and Adriana, very good evening. Nice to have you here. At least very nice to catch up there. And great on the digs you have worked, both you and you, Adriana, working for the first time. Japan, that's really great, and you too, Mike, working some fabulous digs, great. So this picture that I'm going to send is a picture from Brussels. It's it's a picture from Brussels. So QX, here it's coming.
Jeff, that's 100% with me. Over to you, Nick, G4IWO.
G4IWO returning, 100% with me, over.
That's 100%. Very nice picture, Jeff.
Thanks, Lou. I'm over to you, Bob, and 4XAT. 100%. Beautiful picture. Thanks, Bob. And Chief?
M.
Yeah, 100%. You can't beat terminal mode, can you?
It would appear so. Absolutely superb. Yeah. And over to you, Martin, please. Yep, terminal mode here as well. All good, many thanks. Right, excellent. Right, it's over to you for your picture now, please, Martin. G4WJX, M0AUG. With me. Tell me some background, please, Martin. Yeah, that was me today feeding Red Panda at our local wildlife park. I can see that Nick didn't get it. I'm just looking on YouTube. I can see that it's not 100% for him there. There's about 4 or 5 blocks missing. So I'll just send it again just so that Nick's got it in full. But yeah, I volunteered there, and that was a little experience. Me and the lady wife who you can't see on the picture feeding a red panda called Raya. I'll send that again in a second. Thank you.
M0AUG.
Thanks, Martin. How's that cleared with you there, Nick? G4IWO.
M0AUG, G4IWO, yeah, 100%. Absolutely fantastic quality picture. Well done, Martin. Back to you, Jeff.
And then to Mike and Adriana, and then I'll pass it back to you for the wrap. GAKJJ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG and the group GAKJJ. Yeah, the picture's great. That's a very nice picture. I don't think I've ever seen a red panda before, but very, very interesting. And just a point, thanks ever so much for hosting the net, Jeff, and 73s to everyone, and look forward to meeting you again next week.
Thanks for that, Lou, and thank you for your contribution to the net as well as usual. Over to you, Bob, for your comments on the finals. And for XAT in the group, M0AUG. 0AUG, with the group number 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. 100%, Martin, and I can't get over the clarity of the photos that you send. They're beautiful. And I added the last one to my collection. I'll add this one to my collection also. And Jeff, thank you very much again for hosting the net. You always do a job. Between Jeff in England and Jeff in Belgium, I don't know what we would do without the two of you. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, then, Bob, thank you for your kind comments and also for your contribution as usual to the net. And keep going on the daughter, and we look forward to hearing next week's status. So have a good week, and we'll see you then. Over to you, Q, for final GM4JKZ.
M0 Eugene, Group GM4JKZ. Yeah, 100% first time, and it's a fantastic picture. And thanks for running the night. And I think this is a great club. I certainly do. 730 M0 AUG GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ M0AG. Thanks for your contribution as well, Keith. Yes, I think it's a great club as well. And yeah, I think we're all very pleased to be part of it. I'm sure we all are. Over to you for your comments, Jeff. Line 810 M0AUG.
Beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. And I seconded that opinion from Keith. Absolutely fantastic club picture.
Thanks for that, Jeff, and enjoy your time in your conference next week, Jeff. And we look forward to catching up with you again in 2 weeks' time. So stay safe in the meantime, and best wishes to you and Ham. Okay then, Martin, thanks very much for your picture, and hope you've enjoyed the net and being on this evening. G4WJX M0AG.
Yep, from G4WJX, yep, I've enjoyed it again and look forward to the next one. Thanks for running it, and in case anybody doesn't know, that's me on the right. Bye for now, see you next week.
I think we got that pretty clear in our minds there, Martin, so thank you for that. And before we just go back to Nick 405 from there, over to Mike and Alexander, I hope you've enjoyed the pictures this evening, and also the pictures have come through very clearly with you. Over to you, Mike, DL1PJW with DY PDT M0AEG.
DL1PJW was the final. Yes, thank you very much for hosting the net. Jeff, and doing an excellent job as always. And yeah, we received the pictures all very well and very good quality, and they are very nice pictures indeed. So that was very enjoyable. So thank you for this meeting and being able to participate again, and hope to see you all down the log. And next week's, I'm not quite sure if there's a video evening on Zoom next Wednesday. I'm not quite sure. I will look it up in the agenda on the homepage. But nevertheless, we'll all hear you, hopefully safe and sound next Thursday here on the net. Wishing you all the very best to our members and friends of Pennine Ham, and of course all our other listeners and viewers on YouTube. So 73 from Northern Germany, from Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, thank you very much for this interesting evening and for all the nice pictures, which could be seen here on the screen very well. And yes, I wish you all a pleasant evening and a nice weekend, and hope to see you down the log or next week on Zoom or on the digital net. With this was, I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
DL8PDT with DL1PJW in the group. Thank you both for coming on, and it's easy to slip into for the old club, isn't it? No, Mike, I did that the other week, but there we go. No problem there. Yeah, there isn't a Zoom meeting on the calendar so far for next week, so we'll meet up again next Thursday evening on the digital net. So with that, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll now just pass it back over to Nick for any final comments on there. G4IWO in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, first of all, Jeff, a big thank you for your chairing of the net tonight, and of course also for all our fellow club members here on the net for their contributions. On YouTube, and thank you for those that have been following the net on YouTube as well. Our club secretary Rachel M1AYG has just posted, good evening, lots of interesting subjects tonight. Apologies I didn't make it last night to the club talk from Frank. So Rachel, don't worry about it. I'm glad you managed to catch us on YouTube and you enjoyed it. And Rachel, you would have seen yourself as the centre of the stage with a photograph of yourself and Jeff at the Blackpool Rally. The next club meeting is 2 weeks' time on Wednesday the 29th of April at 7:30 p.m, 18:30 Zulu, and we have Jim N4KCT, who's going to give the talk about the HF glove antenna. And I think I've already trailed this, but I'll just finish with this note. It's a fascinating idea that he's come up with, and it works. And he started by building a 5-element beam for VHF, 5-element beam for EHF, which literally folds up and unfolds. So, and it would go down to a tiny, very, very lightweight antenna. More about that at the meeting in 2 weeks' time, and then of course what he's done with an HF antenna as well. Similar construction, brilliant idea. Good night everybody, see you on the digital net next week and the club meeting on the 29th. Back to you, Jeff, M0AG in the group, G4IWO.
Thank you for that, Nick, and we look forward to the next Zoom meeting in 2 weeks for the digital net next Thursday. Thanks everybody for joining us.
M0AUG.
Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody for joining the net this evening. It's been a very good evening. Contributions from everybody, and I hope everybody on the YouTube channels enjoyed it as well. I'm sure they will have done. So stay safe, everybody, and look forward to catching you next Thursday evening on the digital net. And with that, M0AUG is closing down the Pennine Ham digital net for another week. Stay safe, everybody. 7-3 for now.